In this story, you will find a dragonfly that's one of a kind. Find them all and you will see how beautiful each one can be. Hello and welcome to Story Time on IPTV Kids. Thanks for joining me today. Do you love dinosaurs? I do. This week's story is called Itchysaurus by Gareth. So get comfy, get your roars ready, and let's read this story together. Tony the T-Rex woke up one morning and found himself in quite a pickle, as on his back was a really red, irritating tickle. He had gone to sleep on a bed of nettles, which he had accidentally mistaken for petals. Oh no! He attempted to reach the itch with his tail, but that attempt was an epic fail. He tried again, this time with his head, but lost his balance and fell instead. Whilst on the floor, he tried with his feet, as he would not accept defeat. He tried and tried and tried again, but his attempts were all in vain. Although Tony was rather mighty, a T-Rex's arms are teeny tiny. So try as he might, he could not scratch a simple itch upon his back. This was a really big problem because a T-Rex is large, fierce and scary, so dinosaurs flee as they are all wary. Tony's kind are meat eaters, you see, and nobody wants to become his tea. Nevertheless, Tony set out on the hunt for someone to rub his itchy red hump. He looked in the distance and saw up ahead a herd of dinosaurs with 3 horns on their head. Tony was wary of his monstrous size. He stopped for a minute and thought about how to approach them so they wouldn't run and hide. "I'll approach with a smile," he said, and off he went to make a friend. He thought that a smile would show them he's happy, for he forgot that his teeth were large, sharp and snappy. Up they looked and quickly they ran from a really large T-Rex with a really large grin and a large ball of dribble that clung to his chin. A smile didn't work, he said. I wonder why. So again he set out to see if he could find someone to scratch his itchy behind. He looked in the distance over the hill so high and saw another group of dinosaurs with necks that reached to the sky. Tony was now wary of his monstrous size that made other dinosaurs run and hide, and his sharp, snappy grin with the large ball of dribble that clung to his chin. "I'll change my approach," he said. "I won't smile, I'll wave instead." And off he went to make a friend. He thought that a wave was the way to behave, but he forgot that his claws were like long razor blades. Down they looked and quickly they ran from a really large T-Rex with really large claws that shone in the sun as he waved his front paws. A smile didn't work, he said, nor did a wave. I wonder why. So again, he set out to try and befriend someone to scratch his itchy rear end. The shimmery sunlight revealed a trail that led to some dinosaurs with a long, spiky tail. Tony was now wary of his monstrous size that made other dinosaurs run and hide, and his sharp, snappy grin with a large ball of dribble that clung to his chin, and his razor blade claws that shone in the sun when he waved his front paws. "I'll change my approach," he said. "I'll shout hello with a roar instead." And off he went to make a friend. He tried saying hello the only way he knew how, but he forgot that he roars rumbled and rattled the ground. Their heads all turned and quickly they ran from a really large T-Rex with a really loud roar that rattled the grains on the sandy white floor. A smile didn't work, he said, nor did a wave or a roaring hello. I wonder why. So again he set out as light turned to night, but it was soon that he realised there was no one in sight. He looked to his left and then to his right, but still there was no one in line of his sight. Until, "Down here!" shouted a voice. Tony tilted his head and looked down at the ground. A dinosaur stood there that was really quite small. It probably stood just a few inches tall. It had really small teeth with a really small grin and a small ball of dribble that clung to its chin. It had weeny front claws on its teeny front paws, and its voice was so tiny there was no way it roars. You couldn't hear me before because I'm not very loud, and you never had reason to look at the ground. But all the while your large, scary features kept me nice and safe from other large creatures. No one attacked me because all they could see was a really large dinosaur that stood beside me. I've always been here, but you just couldn't see. Your teeny tiny friend has always been me. Without you, keeping safe is like an itch I can't scratch. So now it's my turn to return the favour right back.